Thank you so much for swinging by this episode of This Week in Gaming, our little League of Legends breakdown. Today we're talking about patch 11.4, and honestly, patch isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I know Samira was going to be getting a huge nerf. It's not that bad, to be honest. It's a nerf, kind of a buff. But of course, myself, it's TNC Penguin. We also do, of course, have our Pokemon Master, Adam, with us today to talk some League of Legends. To start off the patch, as I did mention, we're going to talk a little bit about the Samira changes nerf. I see it as kind of some changes because there's a big nerf in the early game. It's a lot to her AD presence in the early game with her Q. It normally is 100% AD through all levels of her Q, but now it is 80% at level 1, 87.5 at 2, 95 at 3, 102.5. So at the 4th level, which I think is level 7 or 8, it's even better than it used to be. And then at level 9, your 5th stage of it, 110% AD. Realistically, this is a nerf early game, but makes her better late game. Other than that, the other really big change, I will agree this is actually kind of big. Her E, you can no longer dash through allies. I know Adam and myself, we play bot lane together all the time. My last 25 games have been Samira. My favorite part about her was being able to dodge skill shots by dashing through Adam or my minions. So that, I think, is a bit of a nerf. Other than that, very, very little changes. Her ultimate, 3 second to an 8 second cooldown, and her W duration is now 0.75 seconds. So, other than that, I mean, the bonus damage ratio changes in her passive from 1 to 18, but late game, she's way better. Late game, she's a terrifying champion around level 13 and on. But Adam, what do you think about this? Does Samira need this? Was this a good enough change? Is this a nerf or just more kind of a, quality of life?
I'd say I don't know, it's weird. It kind of falls under all the categories. Like you said, like it is a nerf early game. But that's in a sense for us it doesn't matter because I play a bully support usually who's gonna poke and do a bunch of damage, so I make up for it pretty much. And that, if you have a support that you're at least duoing with, or that you could at least have some decent communication chat, like you're gonna be fine. It really doesn't affect you that much. And then late game, you're stronger now besides the ultimate cooldown, but I mean, I feel like 8 seconds, sure, it's a 5-second increase, but that's barely anything for her. It's still 8 seconds compared to any other ult.
Yeah.
So
it's that
whatever.
It takes a good 4 or 5 seconds to even get the ultimate back. So it's not like people were really getting to use it in 3 seconds unless you're level 18 and you had great attack speed and great just cooldowns. But I think everything with this is actually pretty solid. I think the champion's in a good state now. Instead of being busted, I think she's balanced. People are saying she's gutted, but she's just balanced. Like
she's not gutted. Y'all silly.
Exactly. She's in a good spot now. Adam and I have noticed it in the early game. We're like, wow, we lost that trade. That's weird. It's the early game that really hurts. But you hit level 6 with her, nah. It's still done if you're relatively good at the character. Another one of the good changes I think came through this patch is Soraka did see a little bit of a buff. All of her Q bonus for the movement speed was all just increased by about 5% actually in every single level. Every level that you level her Q, and that's pretty solid. And then her W for the base healing all went up, looks like by 10. So I think this was another kind of slight change. You did not really see Soraka in the bot lane anymore. And I think a lot of it did kind of come down to a lot of the bot lane feels like a lot of all or nothing trades. To be honest, a lot of the trades end in either a death or a kill. You're not going to see a whole lot of poking, I feel, lately. A lot of it is mainly CC or really heavy damage early on. So maybe you'll kind of see this, start to see that switch. I know you used to love Soraka, Adam. So is this something that you might want to give her a shot again, or are you kind of in that let me blow people up support?
See, here's the thing, it's just right now in the meta of League, it's all in or nothing.
That's what it feels like.
And if you try and poke typically and you use your cooldowns and it wasn't a successful poke, or even if you did poke but it didn't do as much as you were hoping for, you're usually going to get counterattacked now. They know, their stuff's on cooldown, they're useless, go. And they're going to charge you down. So it really just depends. Like, and that's also why you don't really see the tanky CC characters right now, like Naut and Thresh. Are they still good? Yes. But if you're not that good with them and you blow your hook, you're just an easy attack now. Dive them. Their support's useless. Go after the ADC. The support can't do anything. So I think that's why right now those heavy damage champs, usually AP based of course, are where it's at. You know, your Swain, your Brand, your Vel'Koz. I mean, even Senna's not that bad. She's one of the few ADs that would be okay, or same with Ashe. Seraphine, yep. But Soraka, I feel like she is just so hard to be good with right now. Sure, you know, the Q movement speed is nice. Okay, you can quickly poke now and get out a lot easier without getting like tagged back. And sure, your heal's a little bit better now. But just being as a Soraka, if you do get poked, it's a lot more of a negative compared to any other champion, because when you heal somebody, you're taking it out of your own health and giving it to them. So now if you're getting poked, you're running out of like heals in a sense. So I don't know. I think Soraka's just not a really good pick still because of this whole damage comp.
No, I can definitely understand. I do think we're kind of in a very heavy level. And again, Adam and I both were in that silver gold area, so not the LCS that we're talking about, but in our game level, it is a lot of all-in kind of fights, it feels like, in the bot lane at least. From there, the last thing I really want to touch on for us today, because there's a lot of very small changes, you know, that we see in every patch. The big change, though, I think, was the jungle. Jungle got crushed in this patch. Experience went down a lot for every single camp, from Gromp, Large Krug, Small Krug, Crimson Raptors, all of those got a very massive experience nerf. This is kind of just a quote that we're seeing from the developers. We've seen Jungle have a bit more control over games, in large part due to the increased purchasing power, early game tuning, and combat stats, which when accelerates their experience and gold growth, we're pulling back on the experience and income a bit to compensate. As a result of these changes, we're holding off on nerfing some of the borderline OP jungle champions until we see how these changes shake out. With that being said, in the patch notes, no jungle was touched except for Skarner. He had a very light change to his kit. No jungles were touched. Buff-wise, no jungles were touched except for Lee Sin and Amumu. So they're really trying to keep their hands off the jungle champions for right now until they see what this patch does. So I don't know. I mean, I am not loving jungle this patch. Adam and I were talking about it yesterday on the stream. I've completely shifted into AD, and I was a jungle only for about 2 years. And I don't know. It feels very slow right now. It's very gank heavy, and I do like that. The slow build up on just hard farming, and this really kills out a lot. You're going to see, I think, a lot more of those tanky jungles that don't need a whole lot of levels to do well. You'll see kind of the Ramesses, maybe the Sejuanis even start to return, because you just need to get your team ahead. So that's going to wrap it up for us today for our League of Legends talk. Again, thank you so much for swinging by. We really do appreciate it. If you want to check out more of our content, more of the episodes, more of the shows, our streams, check out thenerdchambers.com. If you want to support the show, we've got, our merch TNC Otter right here, our lovable boy Manny. We also have so much more stuff there as well. So again, thank you so much. We did hit our follower goal for TNC Penguin. We'll be doing the giveaway very soon for the Phantom Rage booster box. Do not forget to follow, and if you want to subscribe, you don't have to, but go ahead and follow. We got a giveaway right now for 250 followers for a $100 PSN gift card on the Nerd Chambers. Getting real close. I think about 30 followers away. So again, thank you so much for checking out this episode of This Week in Gaming for your League of Legends news.